Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Career Mode. And for this episode, we're bumping it up to 120, as I promised in the last episode. And we are going to race at the Sachsenring circuit for this episode. And it's the 4th Grand Prix, so that will be very exciting. And jumping straight into the qualifying, we are having a wet qualifying with very difficult conditions. And there is a lot of rain, so it's a lot of slippery situations. And we can see that we went fastest, and then Cooney went fastest, so we're going for a new lap here. And let's see if we can just aim for the top 3, I would suggest. So something like that would be fine. So in the first sector we were just a tiny bit off our best lap. And coming into the second sector here, what is the time? So we have a personal best, not the fastest, but we have a personal best, as we have to maneuver through some traffic here as well. So coming up to the third sector here, let's see. Oh, as we're having a little bit of a moment there. And we're now fastest. It's not by much, but just a little bit ahead of Cooney here. So let's just see if we can attack the third sector and get a good exit onto the main straight. So really important to be early on the throttle, and we were a little bit out on the curb there. It's not the best of exits, but yeah, it's enough for pole position by 0.05 seconds. So that was a 136.1, and I think that actually is good enough for pole position.
That brings an end to this qualifying session.
Here we have the final standings of the qualifying, and we actually got the pole position here, 1 minute and 36.1, with Salvador, Cooney and Tatai following here.
Early on this track.
And now we're just jumping straight into the race, and it's actually a dry race, which I don't think is an advantage for us, as we haven't raced anything in the dry. And we get a really bad start here. We drop back to 9th position, as we gain 4 places there. That was quite good, a little bit aggressive, but it's alright. And then we overtake another rider here, so now we're in the top 4. And we have Cooney ahead of us, which I battled for pole position with. And you can see that the first place is starting to get a little bit of a gap. Not that much, but a little bit. As we go on the outside here, on Tatev, I think. Or was it Tatai, sorry? Not Tatev. It was Tatai. Going on the outside of Tatai. And now Tatai is coming back at us again. But we close the door. And now we're just gonna focus on trying to close the gap to the front 2 riders. And we really have to keep an eye on Tatai, as he is one of our rivals in the championship. As he goes down, actually. Okay, so Tatai has actually crashed. That is great news for us. So we just gotta keep our... Oh, and then we crashed as well. So now we have crashed as well. So both me and Tatai have crashed, and we are no longer in the running for the lead at the moment. So gaining back a position here from Noguchi. And now I really think that finishing on the podium will be the target for today's race. And it seems like we're having a lot more pace than this group, I would say. As we go past Baltos there on the outside. And Tatai has climbed to 8th, so he's not far behind. As we're diving, doing a little bit of a dive bomb there for 4th position. And Tatai has also climbed to 7th, so he's also coming back to order. Getting a good exit here using the slipstream. Slipstream is really important in this class. Just trying not to brake too late here. Hugging the inside curve here, not that much, but we're trying at least. Just trying not to take too much curve there, as we didn't learn from the previous mistake there, and we took quite a lot of curb. Wasn't really on purpose though. So now we have just skipped 2 laps here, and we can see that Tatai is catching up to us. I've just been putting in the fastest laps that I could, and we have just got a little bit of a gap, but Tatai has closed up to us, so he is right behind. He's now 0.6 seconds behind. As we go a little bit wide there, and he's really putting the pressure on us. So we just have to stay calm and not do any silly mistakes. Coming up here to start lap 6. And at the moment, yeah, he's really close to us now. Okay, so we just got to keep our heads down. And yeah, just focusing on just doing clean laps. And I must say that I felt a lot more confident in the rain, or should I say the wet conditions. And that is probably because in the wet, I think the AI is a little bit weaker, which also means that I don't have to push that much. But in the dry, I really have to push all I have, and that also makes me do more mistakes as well. As we do a very good line there. Now we're just skipping ahead a bit. So we can see that Tatai is still like around 5 to 8 tenths behind. Coming up here to start the lap number 8 as we go wide there on the exit. And let's see how that is with... Okay, so Tatai has actually passed us now. That was not good, and it's only 2 laps remaining. Now we just have to stick with him and just trying to make him do a mistake so we can get by. Trying on the outside here, but yeah, that's not gonna work. And it seems like we're having a little bit more pace than Tatai has. And we're doing some alternative cornering lines. As we see, he's struggling for grip there on the exit. Now I'm just really trying to stick with him. In this section he was quite fast compared to us. So I think we have the advantage in the first sector. But I'm not so sure about the rest of the lap. And we really have to try to gain some advantage in the brakes here, as we're trying to make a move up the inside. But that's not gonna work, we were way too far behind. Just focusing on getting a good exit here. He's very close to the curb there and hugging the inside, and we carry a little bit more speed, going wider in the approach. And we are on the inside here now, outside for the next corner. Let's see, can we make this one stick? Oh, and we make it stick. That was, yeah, as we're blocking him as well. But yeah, that was a really good move. That was actually a lot better than I thought we could. So that was very nice. Amazing. Okay, so now we're just about 1.5 laps to go. Coming up to a group of guys here, we can see that this is some back markers. So let's just try to maneuver quickly through them and not make them hold us up. And they are really slow. So yeah, I don't know if they let us past or what was going on there, but they clearly didn't have the same pace as we do. So this is the final lap now, and we're just gonna keep our heads down. Just trying not to make any silly mistakes. The tie is now 1.4 seconds behind, so we should be fine for third position here. I really enjoy racing around this track. It's a lot of fun, and especially in the higher classes when you have the more powerful bikes. But also on the Rookies Cup, it's also enjoyable because you can really throw the bike into the corners, and in most cases it will stick as well. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Coming up here into the last sector here, yeah, he's still 1.4 behind, so we should be fine. And the podium is actually quite a good result in regards of the crash and everything that happened. So Salvador takes the victory as we cross the line here for third position. And I must say I'm really happy with that. We have Cooney in second place, which is the closest rival compared to us in the championship. And also Tatai is also a rival. So it's actually good that we finish ahead of him. I don't really know what the standings will be. We will see in a second here. Okay, so we dropped down to second place in the championship with Cooney getting the lead again. Salvador has actually climbed up ahead of Tatai. So that was everything for today's episode, and I hope you look forward to the next Grand Prix in Austria.